My name is Rhapsody. Welcome back to Slay the Spire. It's time to go in with the Silent into Ascension mode level 12. Let's go through all of the current modifiers available, shall we? Take a deep breath. Elites spawn more often, normal enemies are deadlier, elites are deadlier, bosses are deadlier, heal us after boss battles, start each run damage, normal enemies are tougher, elites are tougher, bosses are tougher, parasite, potions are less potent, and upgraded cards appear less often. So, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to be a little real with you. I've tried to record this episode twice now, and both of the times, I had a series of like 3 15-minute runs each time. Like they would either like take off really quickly and get halfway through the second floor and then die, or they would get to the first boss and then die, or they would just get to like the second elite and then they would die. And they weren't really teachable moments. They were mostly just, this was ridiculously unlucky. Wow. And I think I've had enough of that. The ridiculously unlucky. Especially because it quite clearly tilted me, and then I started playing badly, which made, obviously, the effects of bad luck even worse. So I've taken some time to recuperate and get back into things, and we're gonna start trouncing some enemies. So I can't actually snipe any of these yeah, no, I can't snipe any of these elites with the next 3 combats 1 HP. I'm worried that if I get a random rare card, I'm going to get Phantasmal Killer, and then I'm going to cry. I could go for the Transform, but max HP is actually pretty important, considering how often you rest. I'm going to go with the random rare card. Tools of the Trade is an amazing pickup. Yep, quite pleased about that. Do I want to go for an early shot, remove a card from my deck? I kind of do, but I also actually want to go for, like, no shots for a while. No, I'll go for an early shot. Sure. Do I Tools of the Trade here? I don't think I do. Yeah, if this fight goes long enough for Tools of the Trade to make a significant difference to me, I've already had some problems. Perfect. That was a really good hand to have drawn there because it means that... No, Survival wasn't there? I thought Survival was still in my deck. Huh. Fine draw here as well, and then just 2 stabs, 2 strikes from it. Beautiful. Cloak and Dagger. It's so hard to convince me not to take a Cloak and Dagger. In fact, a lot of the runs that we had before... beautiful, get this Parasite out of my deck. A lot of the runs that we had before, the ones that failed, were we got Kunai or Shuriken super early, and then we couldn't find any shivs. And it was so sad. Like, every single time I was doing everything to extend the run, like I kept resting, like I was resting all of the time. Rhapsody that never rested is dead. I was resting left, right, and or center. But it wasn't able to stay alive until we got to a point where we actually could pick up some Cloaks and Daggers. Or Blade Dance or any of the other cards that would have been ridiculous with that. Right, well, we're going to go Stab, Survivor. Because then the reasonable next hand can kill. Speaking of reasonable next hands, this is one, and it kills. Regen Potion, heal 3 HP for the end of each turn. By the way, if you're wondering, Spirit Poop is unpleasant. It's just a relic that's going to give me -1 to my score at the end of the game. I'll take a Dagger Spray here. We need some AoE. Footwork, Cloak and Dagger, it's so, like, immeasurably those. There's no other option there that was actually reasonable. So we need to upgrade our Cloaks and Daggers as soon as possible. And we need to upgrade our Footwork and our Tools of the Trade. But this run is off to a ridiculous start. There was a discussion recently in one of my comment section that was talking about the power of Footwork. Specifically saying that it's overpowered, and I totally agree. I think Footwork is too powerful, and I would not be surprised if it was nerfed soon, or if something similar... Ooh, Escape Plan, hell yes. was given to the Ironclad. The Ironclad obviously has Inflame as their version, right? It's 2 strength and then upgrades to 3 strength. The Silent currently has 2 dex, upgrades to 3 dex. But the thing is, you can't, like, damage is much easier to come by than health. So defending all incoming damage and then doing a small amount of damage is way more effective than dealing a ridiculous amount of damage and taking a little bit of damage. Especially because in late game, because of the shapes that have thorns on them or they have an explosive quality, so you take damage when you kill them. Especially because of those enemies, you really can't just rely on dealing damage. You need to have defense. And the Nemesis. So there's gonna have to be something done because the Ironclad tends much more strongly to a strength build that doesn't really have a basis in working ever. First pickup has to be footwork. Neutralize, Cloak and Dagger. Cloak and Dagger are obviously really important ones to follow this up. We're probably going to take damage over the course of this fight, but we have another elite fight later, so I'll save the regen potion until then, because it's possible I get out of this fight without taking that much more. Not likely, but it's possible. Okay. Let's go up this. Get all of my block from a single card. Take an enemy out. I like that these enemies are now much more predictable. They just straight up alternate. Makes life fighting them a lot simpler. I'm gonna throw away a daze, because this is probably, yeah, just gonna pick up a daze. Okay. Good dagger spray. Unfortunate to have no defense, but, you know, it's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Alright, show me 3 strikes. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Nope. Oh, there's 1. I still need 2, though. For a strike and a neutralize. Beautiful. Thread Needle, start of each combat, gain 5 plated armor. That's going to be really, really powerful for us. I don't think I take an extra dagger spray. I actually have a lot of respect for backstab. So I'm going to take one. That said, it's going to be Cloak and Dagger as my first 2 upgrades. Tough Bandages, whenever you discard a card during your turn, gain 3 block. That is a really... That can be a run-defining relic. I don't know if it's going to be a run-defining relic for us this run. We're probably not going to be in this fight for another 5 turns. But we are probably going to lose a lot of HP. Work. Alright. 6 block, sure. Ouch. Ooh, that's another 27 that you're trying to deal. It's really not good. Not extremely likely to get 15 damage next turn. Okay, I just got 15. Dead Branch, whenever you exhaust a card, add a random card to your hand. I can't take that. I really can't. Now here, Reflex is actually going to be really good, because Reflex will be discarded oftentimes with Tools of the Trade, and it'll just draw me another card. I forgot that there's actually another elite over here as well. Thanks. Oh, that's not good. Okay. Okay, I'm Fully protected against incoming down. I forgot that I have the plated armor. So I was actually going to be fine anyway. Okay. Swift Potion's a really good pickup. Probably better than the Poison Potion for us right now. It's only going to draw 2 cards, right? Yeah. 2 cards. 1,000 cuts. Goes in this deck quite easily. Okay. I'm going to start the Regen Potion because it's going to be necessary. I want to get my powers active before we do anything else here. And see, since I have quite a thick deck, no jokes, please. I need to try and get through my deck a lot faster, so that I can get all these powers active in time. Yeah, my enemy's gonna wake up at the end of this turn, unfortunately. Yeah. So I didn't really get to wake them up with a big hit, but it's still pretty good. Obviously, the pretty good part is that we can completely protect ourselves against all incoming damage while dealing a significant amount ourselves. And since every single turn we're discarding a card, we're getting 3 block, and then we've got 5 block from the Thread and Needle, so, you know, this is all going quite well. That's all I want to say. We can get like an extra 4 damage a turn, or, you know, depending on the turn, way more than 4 damage by upgrading our 1,000 cuts pretty soon. Just lost the Dex, which is unfortunate. It's very important that we pick up a calculated gamble, should we happen to see one. Because a calculated gamble is actually going to just discard our whole hand and refill it and give us a ridiculous amount of block. So it is a great pickup. Anchor, start each combat with 10 block is a really good pickup for us as well. Another Footwork makes us pretty much immune to all incoming damage. So, you know, probably a good pickup. I'm gonna upgrade the 1,000 cuts. I mean, against this final boss, that is to say, the final boss at the end of this floor, the Guardian, it's very, very likely, in fact, that we will... Oh, I should have not used the second shiv. I should have used the stab instead. It's very likely that we'll be able to get away without taking any damage. I can't take a second backstab. No, not with this deck. It's probably backflip. In fact, it's definitely backflip. No, it has to be neutralize. Cool. Just because we have so much dex, we are, you know, pretty much in the clear with regards to this boss. Transformed him. I also could have thrown the explosive potion if it was desperately necessary, but it wasn't. Okay. Dagger spray. Beautiful. I've got to remember I have that 5-plated armor. I keep forgetting about it. Finally got our Tools of the Trade active. Drop a block. Single attack and we are safe. We're probably going to perfect this boss if I had to guess. Neutralize. Dagger, strike shiv. Sure, I'll survivor. No need to, but I'll do it. Okay. Then I want to do the largest increment of damage I can then. I think I did that in the wrong order. I possibly could have gotten like 2 or 4 more damage in there. Not certain though. Start with the backflip. Neutralize for the next 2 turns is pretty effective. And since I have the plated armor, I can actually go for another strike here. Takes us up to 9. It's probably just cloak and dagger, cloak and dagger. Yeah. Sure, it does a lot of damage. Sure, it gives me a lot of block, but the primary reason behind the double cloak and dagger there is just to get as many triggers of 1,000 cuts as we possibly could get. And yeah. Alright, so 20 more until this guy transforms. So if I can overkill by 6, which is pretty much only available to me using that dagger spray. Beautiful. Then I can skip the next section. Next phase, rather. Okay, Tools of the Trade is actually better than 1,000 Cuts here. 1,000 Cuts it's cumbersome, it's difficult to play. Tools of the Trade upgrades to 0 cost. But more than that, Tools of the Trade will allow me to put more discard synergies in my deck, as well as activate Tough Bandages twice a turn. So that's just 6 free block a turn. I can't take Velvet Choker because I'm going to be playing a lot of Shivs, hopefully. I don't really want to take Ectoplasm. I kind of just fully defend myself anyway, so I guess I'm taking Runic Dome. I'm glad that all of them were options to increase my energy, because that's an extremely important thing for me to be doing right now. It's also worth noting that I should probably visit every available shop, because as soon as I find Kunai... Hang on. Good. As soon as I find a Kunai or a Shuriken, game's over. Game is extremely over at that point. Good. I wasn't even weakened. How did you... Such bollocks. My whole deck is just Dazed right now. And thank you for making me vulnerable. That's going to be really rough on us. Giant hit that I could do nothing about. God, I hate the Chosen. I didn't used to hate the Chosen. I thought the Chosen was fine. And then I started playing Ascension. Like, unless you have single big hits, this enemy is just the worst. The absolute worst. There we go. We're gonna have to rest now. Has to be Calculated Gamble. It's too powerful. 1 of 20 cards to add to our deck? I don't think I need cards right now. I think I need the HP. Give me the HP back. Mercury Hourglass and Pantograph are both ridiculous. I'm going to take a Mercury Hourglass, and I'm going to remove a card from my deck. Okay, so they're both doing 11 damage this turn. Let's backflip. Cloak and Dagger. Okay, all of their damage has been negated now. start focusing on dealing damage. There's the 11. There's the follow-up 11. They're both probably doing 11 this turn as well. Unfortunately, we're not really equipped to stop it. There's the 11, and this one's going to do less, thankfully, as a result of the weaken that I put on him. This calculated gamble will block 12 damage, as well as deal some of its own. Beautiful. It's not a large enough block. We're going to be able to kill him with a single strike. Whee! If I take this other Cloak and Dagger, it's the final Cloak and Dagger I can take. It's an upgraded outmaneuver, though. I'm going to take the upgraded outmaneuver. Usually on the first turn, neither of these enemies attack, rather. Okay. Footwork, tools of the trade. I'm going to calculate a gamble. We got a tools of the trade there. That's nice. Good. Okay. Throw away 2 strikes. Footworks after the 1,000 cut. I'm actually going to use an energy potion here for 1 energy. The frontliner I'm pretty much planning to have die in AoE while I just focus on the back. Okay. Alright, I'm actually going to dedicate 1 hit there just because it guarantees that it dies this turn. There's the Hex. That really sucks. Neutralize, strike, strike. Escape plan. Defend. You can actually deal enough damage to make me really sad here, though. I'm going to survive on. Okay. Didn't go for a big hit then, which is lucky on my part. Good. Sorry about the tongue click. I don't know about a Predator. It's too expensive. Let's skip all of that. These tools of the trade need to cost 0. I don't have the ability to cast them right now. Or rather, I don't have the ability to cast them as easily as I would like to cast them. Dagger Spray is too powerful to not use right now. And we'll calculate a gamble. It's unfortunately important that I kill as many of those as possible in the first turn. Okay. Still haven't got 1,000 cuts active, which is really sad. 1,000 cuts, stills the trade, defend. I have to do a manual strike there. That's rough. This guy's probably going to do a multi... Thankfully, the Gremlin Leader didn't do a multi-attack this turn. It's not likely they do a multi-attack this turn. But just in case they do, I'm going to weaken them. So I'm going to cast all of these. So this has already taken 8 damage we can consider. So it needs to take 5 more. Yep. Oh, the enemy went for big attacks on that turn. Good thing I had a weaken there. Otherwise, that would have been brutal. We know the enemy's not going to be attacking this turn, though. Because they never attack 2 turns in a row. If they violate that rule, I'm actually going to be mad about it. Yeah, they just go for the rally. Ooh, good pickup. Good pickup. These guys are probably just going to die to AoE entirely. Absolutely insane turn there for us. We do need some more card draw in this deck. Just a little bit more, though. The Reflex is doing a lot of work as part of that. Ancient T-set, whenever you enter a rest site. Start the next one with 2 energy. And I don't want any of those. Maybe Dagger Throw. Deal 3 damage, draw a card, discard a card, gain 3 dex. Gain 3 dex, gain 3 block. No, but that's not how I deal my damage. I need lower costs. Oh, good lord. The opening turn here is always horrendous. As in horrendously good. For them, not for me. Tools of the trade here. And then I'm going to calculate a gamble. Throw a huge hand back. We've just got to kill the Slaver first, and then we can focus on the Parasite. Has to be the strike. Okay, we're weakened. Not the worst thing that can happen to us. 1,000 cuts, cloak and dagger, stab, stab, backstab, and defend. And now this is just all in the palm of our hand. Start working down those charges of plated armor by doing direct hits. Okay. Reflex, and we'll lose a defend, because we've definitely got enough defense in this hand already. Escape plan, backflip. Dagger. That should have been a strike first before the dagger spray so that I could do more direct hits again. Damn, enemy made me frail. Actually, you know what? Because of that frailty, we should probably go for the defenses there. It's not likely that they can get through all of this. I do need to get a lot more money and then just focus on going from shop to shop to shop, because there are 3 or 4 different relics that I can think of that would just end the game. Obviously, this game is pretty ended already, but there's a couple that would super end it. I think I take another calculated gamble. It's ridiculous how powerful that is. I don't want to go to shops before I Warpaint, upgrade 2 random skills on pickup. Cloak and Dagger and Calculated Gamble is ridiculous. Ridiculous luck on my part. Upgrade all strikes and defends, which is a lot. Or remove a card from my deck. I'm actually going to go for the upgrade. I very rarely do that, but here I believe that's the right case. Go for another Tools of the Trade upgrade. Now we're going to go for an elite. We've got 2 extra energy on the first turn. Usually their first turn here is 7 by 2, so 14. This will make it 5 by 2. But I actually can just play out the rest of my hand anyway, so. Alright, let's see how much they do. Yeah, 5 by 2. Footwork, footwork. Survivor out the reflex. Sometimes they do their 24 on this turn, but they are weakened, so 24 is 18? Should be 18? Yep, 18. Oh, man. I feel really good about how that's going right now. Calculated gamble, because we need some defense. As much as I want to play the Tools of the Trade, this is probably going to be a 7 by 3, so calculated gamble again, looking for a defensive card. We didn't get it. That's unfortunate. That was 7 by 3, but we had 22 block. Which, again, like, come on. Like, at what point do we start saying that I have some sort of a hacking thing going on? I promise you I don't mind, but I could understand if someone thought so much. We have to use all of the strikes that we get available. 5x7. They just increment it every single time. Let's throw away probably a tools of the trade here, actually. Neutralize, defend. With that neutralize, we should actually be able to go for double strike. Yeah, and we took no damage. Beautiful. Regal Pillow, heal an additional 15 HP when we rest, and After Image is going to be a really good way for us to pick up some extra block. Every single time we play a card, gain 1 block. Is Jax amazing for us or horrible for us? We don't really deal our damage with direct attacks. We deal it through 1,000 cuts. So, no thank you. Move another card from my deck. More than happy to. At this point... yeah, it's still going to be a strike. Alright. We'll smith the After Image to be in our opening hand, because we do play a ridiculous amount of cards a turn. So it's going to get us a ridiculous amount of block a turn. I'm so glad I didn't take the Dead Branch earlier. It would have completely ruined this deck. We could actually take damage this turn. We didn't. We got vulnerable, though. Which means we're probably likely to take damage a little later. Enemy made itself stronger. That's not good for me. Let's calculate a gamble. Outmaneuver. Stop it! Alright, not being able to see what my enemy is doing is actually screwing with me now. So well done to the enemy on that. Okay. We do a ridiculous amount of, I mean, like, when I say ridiculous amount of damage, 47 is fine. But we do get a ridiculous amount of defense. Neutralize has to go out every time. Okay. This deck is currently running like a really nice balance of card draw to energy. We typically don't have more cards than we can play, and we typically don't have more energy than we know what to do with. That's probably going to change this turn. No. We, again, just play everything. Alright, this following turn, he's going to do the self-buff. At the very least, that's going to give me the time to wear off my weakness. And since he's going to do the self-buff, because he's below half HP, is why I know that. Neutralize isn't even that big of a hit. But it's still free damage. I'll outmaneuver to set myself up for a later turn. Here's your self-buff. It's also a purge. Hence why the neutralize really didn't mean that much that turn. We'll drop that dagger spray and... I mean, escape plan is just free, right? So... I think we're still just going to be able to, play out the entire hand. God, these turns line up super well for us. We're probably going to perfect this guy. Oh, well done. That was 66 damage that did in that turn, and didn't really touch me. In fact, it wasn't even close. I don't have much draw in my next hand, so outmaneuver isn't going to do much, but I'm also not going to be hit for 55 this turn, so whatever. Because I believe the enemy can't execute 2 turns in a row. Although I think you might be able to execute this turn, so I'm going to calculate a gamble. Take a new hand. Get myself a bunch of block. Might actually take some damage this turn. No, but I have been debuffed. So I really want to do 63 damage this turn. And accuracy would be good in this deck, yeah. It's fair enough. I was giving a little thought to the previous discussion I've had in decks similar to this. Yeah, I'm actually going to take some damage here, unfortunately. I was giving some thought to experiences I've had in decks similar to this in the past, where maybe accuracy would have been good, maybe it would have been bad. It's definitely going to be good here. I mean, Wraith Form is amazing, but I'm not going to be able to play it. But I'm not going to be able to play any of the rest of these. I could just pass. Wraith Form would speed up everything so much. I'm going to take the Philosopher's Stone here as well. Yeah. And then I just put more draw in this deck, and then I've got 5 energy. So the thing that's going to kill this deck is not being able to see what the enemy is playing, and then they play something really grotesque, and I cry about it for like 5 minutes before I end an episode. 1,000 cards, then after image, because I need the AoE more than I need the block right now. Trade, defend, dagger spray. Highest HP target. Go. Discard the outmaneuver. Actually just gonna play these out. Because if I naturally play those out, I believe the enemies still can't damage me. Beautiful. Some block potions, good pickup for us. Take another. I don't think I take another arm maneuver anymore. Got 5 energy a turn. Uh-oh. Man, this is really good in this deck if I can upgrade it, though. Oh, that might be the greedy decision that cost us our lives. Okay. We're almost certainly going to take some damage in this fight. Good gamble. It's always a shame to get reflex when I can't do anything with it. Ouch. Alright, this is a block potion turn. Oh, you both had to attack this turn? Really? Did ya? Alright, get me new hands. Back flip. Again, unfortunate to draw into reflex. Ice Cream energy is now conserved between turns. All right, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I am not going to fight elites. I don't need to do it. I have nothing to prove. Flechette is a ridiculous amount of damage for us. Who's our boss? All right, we don't actually get debuffed against our boss, so Panacea isn't going to be amazing. Are there any of our own cards that we want to avoid a debuff of? No. I think I'm going to take the regen potion. I think I then go. I think I just peace out now. Choose an attack card from your draw pile and put it into your hand. No. The reason I'm going to peace out here is if I get a later shop and it has kunai, and I didn't save some energy to possibly pick it up, that would be the dumbest thing I could do. And I've done a lot of dumb things. Some would say, exclusively, I've done dumb things. And to those people, I would say, yeah, fair point. Get to save this energy for the next turn, and what a turn to have it on. 1,000 cuts, footwork, backflip. Fan to fan, madness out maneuver. Our final fight is Donu and Decker as well. Probably a better fight for us could not be found. I don't know if I would have asked for a different fight. I play a lot of powers, so I don't want to go up against the awakened one. I'll take an upgraded deflect. I play a lot of powers, so I probably don't want to go up against the awakened one. Upgrade those madnesses. And I play a lot of cards, so I probably don't want to go up against the other one. I can't remember the name of right now. After image. Dagger spray. Madness for a free Wraith form. We'll calculate a gamble to draw 3 cards. That was a good turn. A lot of powers active there. I'm playing an infinite amount of cards a turn, so I definitely don't want to be going up against the Time Eater. I really need to get my 1,000 cuts. There it is. Ow. Yeah, I knew I was probably going to get hit once there. I was just surprised they didn't all do the double attack. It is worth noting, however, they can't all do the double attack. I know that for a fact. I read the patch notes about it. I don't know why I just insinuated it was possible. My apologies. I lied to you. Accidentally, if it helps. This one's got to be a rest. Just heal back to full. Tingsha, whenever you discard a card during your turn, deal 3 damage to a random enemy for each card discarded. So that's pretty insane for us. Okay. Preserve a lot of energy for the next turn. Ooh, that's a good hand. 1,000 cuts. Backflip. Calculate a gamble that entire hand away. Deal a bunch of damage. It's unfortunate, but against this boss fight, you definitely want, like, direct attacks, which I don't have. I keep throwing them away when I get them. That should be enough block for these turns. Good. I'm weakened, but that's not really going to have an effect on us. That's not how we play. Footwork, cloak and dagger. Double hit with calculated gamble. Deals 9 damage and gets us 9 defense. Defense, strike. This enemy can ramp up to dealing like 55 damage a turn. Not yet. In like 1 more turn's time though. Cloak and dagger. Dagger spray. I'm going to madness this backflip because sources of card draw being hit with becoming 0 cost is pretty ridiculous. That was 42 damage on that hit. It's a pretty big hit. Like, I would say it's sizable, sure. Nothing to turn your nose up at. It's not, like, really impressive. It's not like he's doing so much damage that there is literally no capability. Sorry, it's not like he's able to block all of my incoming damage or anything like that. That would be impressive. 35 on that one. So it looks like he's just doing 42 every single turn. It's being slightly affected. Cloak and dagger, backflip. Shiv, 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 shiv. Yeah, let's go for a new hand. We do need a expertise in this deck. An upgraded expertise would actually blow everything out of the water. It would be impossible to do anything to us. Also, just like a skewer would be great as well. Somewhere to sink all of the extra energy that I keep floating. Like a malaise would do that as well, but I would want to use my malaise a lot earlier than right now. Upgrading that reflex is also a really good idea. It's like every other turn, it's an extra card. Beautiful. Bottled Flame. Choose an attack card to be your open hand. Sure. Neutralize is fine. Discard your hand. Gain a shiv for each card discarded. I don't know if we ever use that. We didn't get it. Sorry about that. Had to sneeze. I mean, we did get some cool things. Got expertise and malaise. 2 cards I was just talking about. Paper Crane is pretty good, but we do have only 1 source of weakness in our deck. Probably Noxious Fumes as well. These potions any better than any new ones I have? Yeah, that energy potion is probably useless for me. Instead, I probably want to draw a potion. Cool. Alright. After image. We will calculate a gamble. That worked out pretty well. Expertise for only 3 cards here. Saddest expertise of my life. All of these just go straight face. Yeah. And I will actually just waste some malaise. It's not going to get better over the course of this fight. I'm not going to be fighting it long enough for it to be so. Footwork. Footwork. Cloak and dagger, defend, defend. I mean, this enemy is not going to be attacking this turn. It's going to be spawning this turn, but still, I may as well get all of the extra AoE hits. Oh, it wasn't even a spawn this turn. Wow. That surprises me. Calculated gamble, throws all that back, does a bunch of damage for free. I did kind of want some more draw in this deck. Expertise is providing that right now. We're going to need to kill this real quick, like. Which means I need to find my powers. Is it even going to be a problem if we get constricted? Not at all. Like, we block way more than that a turn. Shiv. Expertise for full draw. Dagger. There we go. That's more what I'm used to. Now expertise costs 0. That's a really good pickup for us as well. Yeah, I actually don't want to take any damage, so I'm going to drink that. Take the gamble to throw it back. Get a new card. And it's a cloak and dagger. Beautiful. Yeah, I would have taken damage without that. Throw back Malaise. Malaise needs to be upgraded before I can really afford to use it. Although Madness also does need to be upgraded as soon as possible. So it's a bit rough out there. A lot of stuff to do. Upgraded. I mean, I could retain cards with well-laid plans. It's pretty good. I'm gonna take the second Noxious Fumes. I think I have enough ability to just play it in between other things that I'll be fine. Good. You typically open with a weaken. Which is kind of what I was relying on there. There we go. Cloak and dagger costs nothing. Malaise for as much as we possibly could. 33 block is pretty nice. Still did 21 damage. Drop the dagger spray and... Yep, we're on easy street now. I mean, we've been on easy street for a while. Let's be honest with one another. This run hasn't exactly been difficult. If you went for a big attack that turn, you may have actually got us. Shame you decided not to. Expertise for 5 cards. Survivor the reflex out of my hand for another card. Ooh, it's a free cloak and dagger. Don't mind if I do. Stab and stab. And we calculate a gamble, deal 12 damage, get 12 block. Neutralize, stab, dagger, spray, deflect. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This seems like a pretty good Ascension 12. I gotta be honest with you. Just a little bit. The poison stacking is actually doing a significant amount of damage. Skewer, and it's upgraded. Alright, here I'm actually going to smith the Madness, because if I hit another important card with the Madness, it's It's insane. Okay. Strength potion, start. That entire hand away from me. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Start by taking out Donu rather than Deca, because Donu does the buffs and Deca receives them. I mean, they both receive them, but they, you know. As much as I want to use Madness right now, Calculated Gamble is the correct option there. And see, at this point, I know that they can't deal enough damage to do anything to me right now, so I'm just going to end my turn, save the energy. We'll discard the melees. We want that later when we have a bunch more energy. Alright. Expertise for the rest of my cards. Skewer and melees are both our energy sinks later game, when we have so much saved. Ooh. Those days are actually going to really fuck with us. Alright, I guess I'm making a defend cost nothing. Throw a weaken potion on the back line, because I know it's you attacking right now. Good. That weaken potion actually prevented us from getting hit there. See, I knew I was going to be calculated gambling this hand anyway. It's going to be the backline hitting again, but thankfully you're weakened for 2 turns, because that's how long our ability lasts on you. So again, I can just chill. Oh, it's the front line attacking. Wow. All right. I'm surprised. I miscalculated that. Defends. It is going to be the back line doing it again this time, but actually just going to drop a giant malaise on you. Oh, pitiful damage there. We'll drop the strikes because we need the defensiveness more than anything else. See, I'm focusing all of my damage on Donu in the front. It's worth noting that even though I'm focusing all of my damage on Donu, they're pretty much still losing health at relatively similar rates. That should say something about how much of this is due to AoE. Madness, the expertise, exactly. I was about to ask if I could draw that. Like, I was legitimately going to ask to draw that card. But I thought that would be a bit much. And then we got it anyway, so yay. Ugh. We probably easily could have gotten out of this without taking any damage. We just took damage at the end there. I could have played that defend as well for 7 more damage. Sorry, 5 more damage. Because it was actually free. I don't even need that much block to kill Deca. Because you've got 1 strength because of the giant malaise. I think Skewer is in our next 5 cards as well, so yeah, there you go. Bye forever. So that's an Ascension 12 victory with a silent right there. Just wrapped it up and put it in the bag. We prepare our daggers for 1,145 damage. All right. We lost 1 due to Poopy. We did get Librarian and Speedster. We also got a perfect, 3 champions. We could have gotten a second perfect, so this could have been 1,195. We did get combo, because of course we got combo. And we got 12 levels of Ascension, so 411. I actually want to see where that puts me on the leaderboards right now, because I've got an inkling that it might put me at around 150. So let's see. Leaderboards, silent, 125. Like, come on! How close was that? In global, right? Yeah, 125. That's not bad. My win streaks are not, amazing. Got 4 for the silent and 1 for the ironclad. Of course we've got 1 for the ironclad. It's worth noting that has been reset recently, but still, of course we've only got 1 for the ironclad. For the moment, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slay the Spire. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we will see you as we move on to Ascension 13. Poor bosses? I don't even know what that one does. Maybe they don't give you gold after the bosses? That kind of sucks. Anyway, hopefully we will see you next time, Marzabulatre? See you then.